Welcome, friends, to Tales of the Cowboy, where the spirit of the Old West glows like embers in a campfire, weaving stories of passion, peril, and the heart's quiet rebellion. Saddle up and ride with us to the Texas Panhandle of 1879, where a young cowboy named Jesse Tuttle found his soul ignited by a forbidden spark in the shadows of a dusty town. This tale, crafted for those who love the frontier's untamed heart, especially you folks who've seen a few sunsets, is one of courage, love, and choices that burn brighter than the dawn. Settle in, let the soft crackle of the fire ease your mind, and drift into a story that'll linger like a desert sunset. Jesse Tuttle was a cowboy of 23, lean and wiry, with sun-bleached hair curling under his hat and eyes green as the mesquite that dotted the plains. He'd spent 5 years driving cattle for the Bar X Ranch, his days filled with dust and sweat, his nights with stars and silence. The son of a blacksmith, Jesse had fled a hard-handed father in Missouri, seeking freedom in the wide-open West. The Bar X, owned by the iron-fisted Elias Caldwell, was no paradise, but it gave Jesse a bunk, a horse named Juniper, and enough coin to dream of something more, a spread of his own, maybe, where the only orders were his own. Caldwell's ranch sprawled across the Panhandle, a kingdom of longhorns and barbed wire, but its heart was the town of Dusty Bend, where the saloon's lanterns cast a warm glow over the sins of cowhands and drifters. Jesse kept to himself, his quick smile reserved for the horses and the rare kind word from a bunkmate. But in Dusty Bend, whispers spoke of Caldwell's daughter, Lila, a beauty of 19 kept under lock and key. Folks said she was promised to a railroad baron's son in Amarillo, a match to secure Caldwell's wealth. Jesse had glimpsed her once, riding side-saddle in a blue dress, her auburn hair catching the sun like fire, her eyes dark and restless as a caged hawk's. One moonlit night, after a long drive, Jesse rode into Dusty Bend for supplies, his pockets jingling with a month's pay. The saloon was rowdy, but he slipped past, heading for the general store. A soft cry stopped him, an alley beside the livery, where shadows moved. He crept closer, hand on his knife, and saw Lila, her dress torn at the sleeve, pinned against a wall by a drunken cowhand from a rival ranch. "Let me go," she hissed, struggling. Jesse didn't think. He lunged, yanking the man back and landing a fist that sent him sprawling. The cowhand scrambled up, cursing, but Jesse's glare and drawn blade sent him stumbling into the night. Lila straightened, brushing her hair from her face, her breath ragged. "You didn't have to do that," she said, but her eyes, deep brown, flecked with gold, held gratitude. "Couldn't just walk by, miss," Jesse said, tipping his hat. "You all right?" She nodded, smoothing her dress. "I'm Lila Caldwell." "And you're?" "Jesse Tuttle, Bar X hand." He hesitated, knowing her name spelled trouble. "Best get you home." She shook her head, a spark flaring. "Not yet. I snuck out to breathe, not to be caged again." "Walk with me?" Against every ounce of sense, Jesse agreed. They slipped to the edge of town, where the Red River's banks gleamed silver under the moon. Lila spoke of her father's plans, the marriage she dreaded, the life she didn't choose. "I want to see the world, Jesse, not be sold like a prize heifer." He chuckled, her fire warming him. "World's big, but it ain't kind. What's a lady like you dream of?" "Freedom," she said softly. "Books, music, a place where my heart's my own." Jesse shared his own dreams, a ranch, a herd, a life free of another man's whip. Their words wove a fragile bridge, two souls meeting in the dark. When a coyote's howl broke the spell, Lila touched his arm. "This is forbidden," she whispered, her breath warm. "If father knew." Jesse trembled, not from fear but from the pull of her nearness. "Then we keep it quiet," he said, his voice low. They sat by the river till dawn, talking, laughing, their hands brushing in the grass. Her lips found his in the gray light, a kiss soft as a promise, fierce as a storm. It was a line crossed, a fire lit that neither could douse. Days became a dance of stolen moments. Lila slipped out when her father was away, meeting Jesse in hidden draws or abandoned shacks. She brought poetry books, reading Whitman under the stars. He carved her a wooden rose, its petals smooth as her cheek. Their love grew like sagebrush, wild, resilient, blooming in secret. But the frontier don't keep secrets long. A jealous cowhand, Tom Rourke, spotted them by the river, his eyes narrowed with spite. Rourke, loyal to Caldwell, carried the tale to the boss. Caldwell's wrath was a thunderhead. He summoned Jesse to the ranch house, his voice cold as iron. "You think you can touch my daughter, boy? You're nothing but dust under my boots." He brandished a whip, his men circling. "Leave the panhandle by sunrise, or you're dead." Jesse stood tall, his heart pounding for Lila. "I love her, sir. Ain't no shame in that." Caldwell's fist met Jesse's jaw, sending him to the dirt. "She's promised to better. Get out." Lila, hidden in the shadows, ran to Jesse that night, her face streaked with tears. "Run with me," she pleaded. "We'll find a place, New Mexico, California, anywhere." Jesse hesitated, the weight of her father's power heavy. "He'll hunt us, Lila. I ain't got enough to keep you safe." "Then we fight," she said, her voice steel. "Together." They planned to flee at dawn, but Rourke's betrayal was swifter. Caldwell's men ambushed them at the river, rifles gleaming in the starlight. "No one steals from me," Caldwell roared, his shotgun raised. Jesse shoved Lila behind a cottonwood, drawing his Colt. The fight was chaos, bullets splintering bark, horses rearing, men shouting. Jesse's aim was true, wounding two, but a bullet grazed his shoulder, blood soaking his shirt. Lila, no shrinking violet, grabbed a fallen rifle, her shot scattering the rest. Rourke lunged at her, but Jesse tackled him, their struggle a blur of fists and dust. Lila's scream pierced the air as she swung a branch, knocking Rourke out cold. Caldwell, alone now, faced his daughter, his face a mask of rage and pain. "You choose this drifter over your blood?" "I choose my heart," Lila said, standing by Jesse. "You taught me strength, father. Now let me use it." Something broke in Caldwell's eyes, pride yielding to loss. He lowered his gun, voice hoarse. "Go, then. But you're no daughter of mine." They fled under cover of night, Juniper carrying them south to New Mexico. The trail was hard, hunger, cold, the fear of pursuit, but Lila's laughter and Jesse's carved rose kept them warm. In a small town called Mesilla, they claimed a homestead, a patch of earth where mesquite bloomed and the sky stretched endless. Jesse built a cabin, Lila planted a garden, and their love grew roots deeper than any rancher's wealth. By 1885, the homestead thrived, a haven for travelers and strays. Lila taught school, her poetry books dog-eared by eager children, while Jesse raised cattle, his smile no